If we're going stupid, we're going full stupid. We're Iron Man.
People in the off-road industry, the Baja 1000 is known as the most difficult race in the world.
It's just such an accomplishment to even just make it all the way back to Sonata. It's
even the most experienced drivers will have sometimes a 50% success rate just on completing the race.
A lot of people just kind of underestimate how much it takes to actually get this done and survive the race.
Welcome to Mexico. We're here for the Baja 1000.
I would say there's maybe about a 15% chance of making it to the finish line.
I like those.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, there's been a lot of naysayers, a lot of non-believers, and rightfully so. You know, this is the most difficult race in the world, and we are going into it with no experience whatsoever.
For newer guys that are just starting out, I'd start one of those smaller races. At least more than 10%.
Could technically be 100.
Like 90%.
I've been to Mexico a bunch of times when I was a kid. I've lived in Southern California all my life. So like coming down here when I was younger, watching all the trophy trucks and stuff, it's always been a dream to race it. And I figured now that I'm kind of getting more involved in the off-road industry, I feel like now is the time to do it. Because if I don't do it now, it's never going to happen.
It's hard to enjoy Mexico when your phone's freaking blowing up.
This is your first time racing? Or at a racing event like Baja 1000? Can we give you some knowledge? These headlights are fake.
Thank you.
Yeah, those are fake. They don't turn on. They're Snickers.
Thank you for that.
They don't work.
Wow.
You're welcome. So I've been coming down here since I was like 5, 6 years old, and I've been introduced to trophy trucks and whatnot since I was a little kid, and I've always dreamed of being in the race. First time I'm down in Baja, we finally get to watch the race in person, and the second time we get to watch it, we're going to be in it.
As a kid, I was very passionate about the cars, the off-road vehicles themselves. But growing older, I became passionate about the race itself. So that passion for cars, thrown in there with the passion for the race, it really fueled the desire to be a part of it.
What's up, baby?
So fast forward from when I was a kid to high school, now I have full access to the internet. You know, MySpace is a thing at this time, and I'm actually learning what the race is. My passion for cars and whatnot was still pretty strong, especially for off-road vehicles. To just finish the Baja 1000 was actually my #1 bucket list goal.
We would aim for 35 hours and 59 minutes.
Yeah, you gotta look at that line. Get closer, right? Time now.
How the f is this under 30? What the f?
Even getting out of the military, I got out of the military back in 2016. When I got out, folks went back into getting into college. I was getting more involved with aviation, becoming a helicopter pilot for the California National Guard. So even after the military, I had a lot of focus everywhere other than off-road racing. And it wasn't really until recent that I got more involved with the off-road community, and it kind of reignited the passion of off-road racing. And it opened some doors that kind of led to where we're at right now, and getting more involved with stuff like the Baja 1000. So it's been 8 years since I've been out of the military, at least for active duty. And even in those 8 years, the schedule just didn't line up. I was not able to make down to Mexico to spectate or anything like that. Getting involved with the off-road industry is actually a lot more of a recent thing.
Trying to
I got
be an armadillo.
Is that the best?
You weren't expecting that one, were you?
Not at all.
You gotta expect the unexpected,
The best hard top you'll ever buy.
Yeah, it gets me hard, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons why we were actually a little bit late to the 1000 this year is because my vehicle is using SEMA. Armadillo Designs makes hardtops for the Bronco, and my Bronco is actually the first one for the two-door. So we had to get it out to SEMA and show it off. After SEMA, we decided to come down to Mexico. That's where Fabian, the co-founder, or one of the co-founders of Armadillo Designs, and I drove down to Mexico because he's actually going to be my navigator for this race next year.
Hell, fucking hard right turn and a hard right turn on the map. No, that shit
Did not load that quickly.
So this hard right turn. Hard right?
Yeah, the hard right turn.
This might be our hard right turn.
This might be the hard right turn.
Hard right turn back there.
So got down to Mexico. We started our preparation on the homework we're going to need to do to be ready for this race, and just to spectate what was going to unfold. The Baja 1000 is already the most difficult race in the world. Things that make it more difficult is making it an Ironman race.
There's a lot of shared drivers out there.
You're talking about like driving together? Like
Sharing the wheel during the race.
like multiple racers, multiple people racing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long race.
Feeling good?
Feeling good. Yeah, I know what we're doing is stupid. Absolutely stupid.
Whereas one driver, one navigator the entire race. Another thing that might make it more difficult is running a manual transmission. Something else that might make it more difficult is going into this race, first time, no off-road racing experience whatsoever.
Starting out, I'd start one of those smaller races.
Now you want to add all those strings together? Sounds pretty stupid. And Fabian and I have a plan to get it all done in less than 1 year. They've raced the Baja 1000. They've never raced before. They did it in a manual. They fucking Ironmanned it.
So today's plan, we're going down to Ensenada to meet some of the racers. They're going to be out there getting their vehicles inspected. And then tomorrow we're going to be going to some of the racing points to do the same thing, talk to some of the pit crews, get some more insider tips on what we need to do and what to expect for next year.
This is actually the first year that I was able to finally come down here and even become a spectator for the race. It's pretty remarkable that it could take this long to even just watch a race that I was so passionate about. But it's also remarkable in the fact that it still happened. I'm 34 years old now, and it's still not too late to get out here to witness it and become a part of it. So it's 2024 now. The clock has already started. We have less than one here to complete one of my biggest childhood dreams. This is episode 1 of a 3-part series.
Now, I just want to...
Endeavor, man. You'll never forget it. Oh, so you're not going to do the 250, the 500, or straight to the 1000.
So, like I said, if we don't finish, we get a bunch of I told you so's.
Right.
If we do finish though, that's huge.
Let's go and wash out to 100 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour.
I get you 70.
Guys with a $10,000 vehicle and guys with a $2 million vehicle.
What do you think are our odds, percentage-wise, of completing the race next year?
Less than 20?
Less than 20.
Oh, that's our biggest percentage this
But
so
it's
far.
also not, because we also had more than 10, which theoretically could also be in 100. So
The ultimate goal is to just finish the race on this first one. With usually average 50% of racers not even completing the race because of things like breaking down or getting lost or missing checkpoints. It's an accomplishment in itself just to be able to cross the finish line in time. But where I feel where we still have that chance is a lot of these people are also talking in the means of they're trying to get first in class or first overall. With our goal just being we just want to get across the finish line, we're not going to be pushing the same boundaries these people are. So while no, we're not going to be super competitive in this race, I still think we have a good chance of just simply finishing as long as we keep our head in the swivel and we don't push any boundaries.
First experience with Baja, it was pretty cool. I grew up watching the trucks driving down the streets in Mexico. I grew up through high school watching stuff like the Dust to Glory, you know, just inspiration to get down here. So
that was his only homework that he gave Fabian.
That's all only homework I gave Fabian before coming down here, just to watch Dust to Glory. He almost even completed. But that's a different story for another time. Especially that first section we stood at to watch the trophy trucks drive by, and we're within feet of these trucks that they're just booking it. And having those trucks, and you could feel it in the ground, the engine. You know, it was surreal. Lifelong dream to get down here to not only race it but to be a part of it. You know, so getting out there and actually helping some of the motorcyclists that were struggling with stuff. We had one guy that couldn't see, so we were helping with the rag, cleaning off his goggles. We had a guy that he just didn't know which way to go because the section we were set up at was at a fork, and he didn't know to go left or right. So we're sitting there telling him, go that way, go that way. So you know, it's kind of cool to be able to help some of the people in the race. It makes you feel like you're not just a spectator, but you're a part of it. It's still competition, but it's all one big real family. You know, it seems like a lot because there's so much money invested into the Baja 1000, but just from what I gathered, everyone that's involved with it, they're a pretty tight-knit group. They'll help each other out. You know, of course, obviously, like during race day, you know, a little bit less help from the people you're competing against, but from what I've experienced, now everyone here is, including spectators, are just down to help the cause and get people across the finish line. Getting to actually sit there and help people continue the race, you know, because if they did finish, then you played a part in that individual finishing the most difficult race in the world. When it comes to sponsorships, we're definitely going to need something on the suspension side, just because suspension is a little more on the pricey side. When it comes to the vehicle itself, getting a roll cage installed, the fuel cell installed, those are all things that are pretty pricey. So sponsorships along the lines of parts like that would actually tremendously help. So that's going to be something we're going to be working on towards the beginning, is hopefully getting some sponsorships for components like those.
The next couple episodes that we're going to be going over the build, preparation, practice, pre-running, the race itself. It's going to be an interesting couple episodes, and just really excited about finally completing that lifelong childhood dream.